Good morning. Now let's discuss about corporate regulations paper. The first part is about Companies Act 2013. So in this video we'll discuss about an introductory part of Companies Act 2013. The 1956 Act, actually earlier we had a Companies Act 1956. We were following different rules regarding companies as per the Companies Act 1956. But now on we are following based on the Companies Act 2013. Okay. The 1956 Act has been sorry, 1956 Act has been in need of a substantial revamp for quite some time now to make it more contemporary and relevant to corporates, regulators, and other stakeholders in India. While several unsuccessful attempts have been made in the past to revise the existing 1956 Act, there have been quite a few changes in the administrative portion of the 1956 Act. The most recent attempt to revise the 1956 Act was the Companies Bill 2009, which was introduced in Lok Sabha, one of the two houses of Parliament of India, on 3rd August 2009. So, 1956 Act, there were many, different drawbacks and limitations, and it was required a change. It was required to change it to make it more relevant to the corporates, regulators, and other stakeholders of the business. And there were many attempts to make a revision or change in the 1956 Act. And the result of those changes, how does these changes made, or how does a new act came into being? So one of the revision or one of the attempt to revise this 1956 Act was in the introduction of Companies Bill in 2009, which was introduced in the Lok Sabha and on 3rd August 2009. So first, as a part of revising the Companies Act 1956, first a Companies Bill 2009 was passed on 3rd August 2009. Then this Companies Bill 2009 was referred to the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Finance, which submitted its report on 31st August 2010 and was withdrawn after the introduction of the Companies Bill 2011. Okay, so as a part of revision of the Companies Act 1956, the Companies Bill 2009 was passed in the Lok Sabha, and this bill was referred to the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Finance, which submitted its report on 31st August 2010 and was withdrawn after the introduction of the Companies Bill 2011. So Companies Bill 2009 was later on replaced, or later on it was introduced, a further introduction was came, that is Companies Bill 2011. Then the Companies Bill 2011 was also considered by the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Finance, which submitted its report on 26 June 2012. Subsequently, the bill was considered and approved by the Lok Sabha on 18 December 2012 as the Companies Bill 2012. So, Companies Bill 2009 was later on a change to Companies Bill 2011, and then it was approved by the Lok Sabha on 18 December 2012 as Companies Bill 2012. The bill was then considered and approved by the Rajya Sabha too on 8th August 2013. Okay, so that bill was approved by the Rajya Sabha also on 8th August 2013. Then it received the President's assent on 29th August 2013 and has now become the Companies Act 2013. So this is how the Companies Act 2013 was formed. First of all, we had the Companies Act 1956. So in order to change that, first a Companies Bill 2009 was passed. Later on, it was changed to Companies Bill 2011, then Companies Bill 2012. Then Rajya Sabha also agreed this on 8th August 2013, and which came into known as the Companies Act 2013. So this is the history of the coming up of the Companies Act 2013. Then Companies Act 2013 is an act of the Parliament of India which regulates incorporation of a company, responsibilities of a company, directors, dissolution of a company, etc. The 2013 Act is divided into 29 chapters containing 470 sections as against 658 sections in the Companies Act 1956. Okay, so 2013 Companies Act is divided into 29 chapters containing 470 sections and 7 schedules. Okay. Then, the Act came into force on 12th September 2013 with few changes like earlier private companies maximum number of member was 50 and now it will be 200. So, Companies Act 2013 doesn't completely modify the Companies Act 1956. It just gives some amendments or some changes in the earlier act. Okay. Then, a new term of one-person company was introduced in this act. Then, on 27 February 2014, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs stated that Section 135 of the Act, which deals with corporate social responsibility, will come into effect from 1st April 2014. Then, on 26th March 2014, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs stated that another 183 sections will be notified from 1st April 2014. So these are all a brief introductory part about the Companies Act 2013. It contained 29 chapters and 470 sections. Then it came into force on 12 September 2013 and with a few changes or few amendments. Okay, then a new term like one-person company was introduced in this Companies Act, etc. Okay, now let's see which are the objectives of the Companies Act 2013. The Act broadly seeks to achieve the following objectives. First one, to promote the development of economy by encouraging entrepreneurship and enterprise efficiency and creating flexibility and simplicity in the formation and maintenance of companies. Okay, to promote the development of economy by encouraging entrepreneurship and enterprise efficiency and creating flexibility and simplicity in the formation and maintenance of companies. Okay, another objective is to encourage transparency, accountability and high standards of corporate governance. Then, to recognize various new concepts and procedures facilitating ease of doing business while protecting interests of all the stakeholders. Then, to enforce stricter action against fraud and gross non-compliance with company law provisions. To set up institutional structure in the form of various authorities, bodies and panels as well as by including recognition of various roles for professionals and other experts. Then, to cater to the need for more effective and time-bound approvals and compliance requirements relevant in the present context. So, these are all the objectives behind the Companies Act 2013. The main objectives are to encourage entrepreneurship and enterprise efficiency and creating flexibility and simplicity in the formation and maintenance of companies. Then to encourage transparency, accountability and high standards of corporate governance, etc. Then, which are the main features of the Companies Act 2013? The Companies Bill 2013 contains 29 chapters, 7 schedules, 470 clauses as against the Companies Act 1956, which consists of 658 sections under 13 parts and 15 schedules. So these are the division of the Companies Act 2013. Earlier, 1956 Companies Act contained of 658 sections under 13 parts and 15 schedules, whereas the Companies Act 2013 contains 29 chapters, 7 schedules, and 470 clauses. Okay. Insofar section numbers are concerned, more than 200 sections have been deleted from the Companies Act 1956. While this is on one side of it, a number of provisions have been removed or discontinued or dispensed within the existing but revised section or clause numbers. So, Companies Act 2013 contained a variety of new or amended sections to the Companies Act 1956. Then, the clauses to the Companies Bill 2013 have been categorized into introduced, amended sections for easy and quick reference. Okay. So, different clauses or different sections of various terms which is contained in Companies Act 2013 is given as follows. For your quick reference, you can go through it. These are all the different sections. Expert clause 238, then class action suits clause 37, like that a variety of clauses are given. That means which are the clause or section number under the new Companies Act 2013. Okay. Then next is some of the important highlights of the Companies Act 2013. What are the differences or what are the specialities or the highlights of the new Companies Act as compared to the Companies Act 1956? New definitions have been introduced, some of which are auditing standards, associate company, CEO, Chief Executive Officer, Chief Finance Officer, control, employee stock option, financial statement, global depository receipt, Indian depository receipt, independent director, interested director, key managerial personnel, promoter, one person company, small company, turnover, voting right, etc. So, different new definitions have been introduced regarding all these terms in the Companies Act 2013. Then, number of existing definitions have been modified. For example, definitions of abridged prospectus, body corporate, director, expert, managing director, officer in default, etc. All these definitions, which had already been existed in Companies Act 1956, have been modified in this new Companies Act 2013. Then, definition of private company is changed. Then the limit on maximum number of members increased from 50 to 200. Then the concept of one person company is introduced. Then it will be a private limited company. Then the concept of small company is introduced, and it will be subject to lesser stringent regulatory framework. Okay, so these are some of the important highlights of the Companies Act 2013. Many definitions have been given regarding all these terms. Then some of the definitions have been modified regarding all these abridged prospectus, body corporate, etc. Then definition of private company is changed. Then another concept of one person company is introduced. Then concept of small company is introduced. These are the important highlights regarding the new Companies Act 2013. So these are an introduction of the Companies Act 2013. First, we have seen through how or what is the background or how does the Companies Act 2013 came by. First of all, there was Companies Bill 2009, then 11, then 12, then it further approved by the Rajya Sabha and came into force as Companies Act 2013. Then we have seen what are the objectives regarding the new Companies Act 2013. Then the different features, that means which are the different sections, clauses and schedules contained in the new Companies Act. Then we have seen the different clauses, clause number and name in the new Companies Act. Then some of the highlights of the Companies Act 2013. So this is all about an introduction on the Companies Act 2013. Thank you.